Hey there, and welcome to another episode of Retirement Rescue Radio. I'm your host, Nate Miller. And today we're going to be going over something that you may not realize about Social Security and spousal benefits. And this is really important because there was some legislation that changed back in 2015 that a lot of people didn't realize took a certain benefit away from all of us. And it was actually a kind of a big deal. And when it was happening, I was absolutely floored with how fast it was introduced and then passed. It was lightning speed, and that normally does not ever happen in the government. The government's really good at doing nothing or kicking the can down the road. They're not usually known for their quick action. And so here's what happened. So there was something called the Bipartisan Budget Act of 2015 that Barack Obama basically just flew through and got passed. And what it changed quite a few things with the Social Security, but one of the big things that it changed was something called the spousal benefit. So here's how claiming the spousal benefit used to work. It used to be and some pieces of this still exist today, but I'll talk about the changes here in a second. So the way it used to work is if you are the spouse of the higher earner. So you've got a higher earning spouse and you've got the lower earning spouse. To give you an example, in my family, the higher earning spouse was my dad, and my mom pretty much raised all 6 kids. And so she was out of the workforce for a very long time because her work was making sure that we turned out to be, good human beings that would contribute to society. And so she didn't have a whole lot of Social Security as a result, unfortunately, because that position, while super important, doesn't tend to pay very well. And so here's what it used to be. So like my dad's full retirement age benefit was going to be more than my mom's. And half of my dad's full retirement age benefit would be more than my mom's. And so what the spousal benefit used to allow us to do is, let's say in this case, my mom, the lower earning spouse, once the higher earning spouse filed for Social Security, that would make the other spouse eligible to claim a spousal benefit. And so let's just give you an example of using real numbers here. So let's say you've got the higher earning spouse, their full retirement age amount for Social Security is going to be $2,800 a month. $2,800 a month, and the spouse is their amount at 62 will be $800. Their amount at full retirement age is $1,200, and their amount at 70 is $1,500. Okay, so we got 800, 1,200, 1,500. And the higher earning spouse full retirement age amount is $2,800. And even if they didn't want to claim at full retirement age, but they wanted to make their spouse eligible, they could file what was called a restricted application, which means they filed and then immediately suspended their benefits. So they're not actually suspending them. They just wanted to file in order to make their spouse eligible for the spousal benefits. And so in this case, what that would do is that means the spouse is now eligible for a $1,400 a month payment, which is more than the $1,200 a month payment at their full retirement age, right? And so that's why they would do that. They would want to claim the spousal benefit because it was more than their regular benefit. And then what they could do, in this case, it's $1,500 when she turns 70. And so if she wanted to, she could claim the spousal benefit at full retirement age because her spouse filed and suspended, get $1,400 a month. And then she could change to $1,500 a month when she turns 70. Now, I know there's going to be cost of living adjustments in there as well. So those numbers will move accordingly. And so if she would be able to get a raise is the bottom line of what that meant back when that law was still able to be used. And so